Hello, YouTube. It has been a while. It's been about a week since the last stream, and I really apologize for that. I really tried to get back online, but unfortunately, I ran into a few problems. About a week ago now, shortly after the last stream, I think it was Tuesday, I think the last stream was on a Monday, I managed to catch a virus on my computer. And unfortunately, it was a virus that was pretty catastrophic. So what ended up happening was I think it all came down to this video file that I downloaded. I ended up downloading, I think it was last week's episode of The Flash, and I got it from a pretty reputable source on Pirate Bay, and played it, and everything was fine. And then when I shut down my computer and woke up the next morning, it was so unbelievably slow, and my virus checker was disabled. I could run it in safe mode, but even when I ran it, I detected a few things that were abnormal, but it couldn't correct itself. So after about a day of trying to use the virus checkers and just some other things to try and get rid of some of the problems that may have been on my computer, I gave up. So the following day, I basically took the entire evening to back up files. And then the day after that, I took the evening to format Windows. Then the evening after that, actually the next 2 evenings, I spent just locating software, getting my computer back up and running to the way I liked it. It was a pretty treacherous little adventure last week. Basically nothing productive got done. I was all about just trying to get myself back to where I was a week ago. But I think we're almost there. Now there's a couple of pieces of software that I don't have anymore. It shouldn't affect the stream, but I'm going to have to locate them again. A lot of the stuff I do have is legitimate software. Definitely, like every single computer game I've ever installed is legitimate. I don't deal with any kind of cracked games. The only thing that I'll generally do is like download third-party patches, but I never crack games. I just don't find a need for it. I've got way too much stuff to play as it is, so don't actively seek out stuff that I don't already own. But that being said, it was a big pain in the ass, and we're back up and running. So let me know if there's any hiccups in the stream. Things might not be 100% right now. In particular, syncing issues, maybe even frame rate and stuff like that on the stream. But yeah, just let me know if anything shows up that seems abnormal, and I'll try and correct it for the next time. But I did a couple of tests, and it does appear like it's working pretty well. So I'm pretty confident we'll be okay. So I hopped on Dreamcast Now, and it does appear as though we've got quite a few people online tonight, so that'll be fun. We should be able to start a quest. But I also have this ridiculous pile of pickups that I've got to show you at some point too. I think the majority of them are going to happen at the end of the stream, just because there's so many to get through. I went through a couple of events that were really neat, and ended up doing a couple of really cool trades. But there is one thing I want to show you before we start anything, and it's something that I found at a Value Village actually. And I always check every section, because you never know what you're going to find, like the electronics section, the game section, movies, records. All those standards are always really important to check, because typically you find good stuff if you get there first, but there's always those daily pickers that get all the good stuff before you get there. So I will check it, and occasionally I do find really cool stuff, but more often than not, somebody's already got to it. But I do like to check the more obscure sections, and I went, like the bag section where they keep cutlery and things like that, because you just never know what you're going to find. A couple of times I've looked like in the toy section, it'll have bag toys, and I think the staff do this because maybe they try to pick this stuff up later. But in the bag you'll find a couple of decks of playing cards, and then hey, sure enough, you find a copy of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask with the hologram. Yeah, so just little things like that. But this was really cool. I spotted it, I looked at the back, and I was like, I'm very curious, and it was like $2.99, so I bought the bag. So what is it? Well, I saw the back, and I was like, oh, interesting, XLR in, so this must be a microphone. Then I looked on it, and it had this really cool sort of like embossed metal label on it. Let's see if we can get that in focus. Pull it back a little bit, see if you guys can read that at all. Maybe it's not going to want to grab it. Well, we'll pull it back a little bit more. And we'll bring it in front of the road sign. Maybe then it'll finally decide to focus. Okay, good enough. Anyways, so what that says is American Microphone Company, Dynamic Microphone D22. And again, I was really curious about this. I was like, okay, so what's this all about? So I did a bit of research. And it turns out this is like an old standard broadcasting mic from the 50s. So anytime in the 50s you saw like news programs and things like that, this is what they were using. So it has the little mount right here, and what you did was you screwed it into a little platform and you placed it like this and you talked. So I tried it out. It works fine. It's got a really unique sound for it. In fact, let's try it out right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn down this mic here and I'm going to plug it back in. So you might hear a little bit of static, but first thing I have to do is turn off the phantom power on my XLR. And here we are. We're plugged into this dynamic mic. So you might notice that it has a pretty like sharp tone. Like there's obviously some sort of, I don't know if it's the mic, some sort of high pass filter or something in it, but it certainly has a unique vintage sound to it, especially with my voice. My voice seems to be a little bit more muffled, and I find with this mic it really brightens it and everything like that. But yeah, it works perfectly. A really cool dynamic mic. I'm really happy with this actually. For $2.99, who can complain really? I did price it up online. It does go for quite a bit, but nothing too crazy. And like the used market's generally about $150 to $200 and stuff like that. But yeah, really cool mic. I'm really happy to have this in my possession. I don't really have too many old vintage mics, and to have something like this is kind of interesting. So I'm gonna unplug it now, and I'm gonna plug back in the condenser, and you'll probably immediately notice a difference. Okay, here we are back with the condenser. So the condenser uses phantom power that just sends a signal to the microphone to actually power it. The dynamic mic does not require that. So you just got to turn it off. Otherwise, all you're going to get is static and it's going to drive you crazy. But yeah, really happy to have this. I do have quite a few older microphones. Generally, I tend to keep them even if they're kind of crappy, but you just never know when they're going to come in handy. But I really like this. My brother's in film. He might be able to use it for some of his ADR work and stuff like that. So really cool mic. Again, it's the American Microphone Company D22. Okay, so why don't we fire up our Dreamcast and let's see who we can find on Pioneer tonight. So let's go to our main screen. Yep, testing. Okay, so far so good. I don't see any issues. All right, so let's go to our games, and we really got to play some Pod Speed Zone. It looks like there's a lot of people playing that recently, so I'd really like to break out that wheel that I got from David. That was an excellent donation. I appreciate it very much, but unfortunately with the recent virus that I got on my computer, I wasn't able to utilize it. So we will fire up this Steam Whistle too while we're waiting. Cheers. And while we're waiting for this game to show up, or start up rather, I'm just going to show you a couple other cool things that I ended up picking up at the Geek Swap. So maybe we'll go through that little pile first, and then we'll see if we can find a game online. So let's just load it up. Okay. Online mode definitely. Broadband adapter is set. And here we go, getting a Pioneer. So I ended up going to this Geek Swap event here in Toronto, and that was pretty cool. It's just generally a lot of local people in this Facebook group I belong to, and they end up renting out a bar or a video store or something to that effect. And you just bring a bunch of stuff that you're not quite interested in anymore, and you just see if anybody else would like it. So I ended up going there, and I ran into some people that I'm familiar with and friendly with. And one of the first things I did was I traded my double copy of Advance War 2 for Fire Pro Wrestling, actually, on the Game Boy Advance. So I haven't played that on there, but I am kind of interested in Fire Pro Wrestling. So who do we got here? That is a new player. Interesting. Okay, well, let's see what kind of teams we've got first. Join a team. Casual Hollow. And it is a full house. Okay, well, let's see who we've got in the game room. So we've got Yarika. Somebody called me on that because I kept saying Yakira. My bad. Let's see who else we got. I don't know Photon. I think I've played with Kevin before, and I don't know any of these people. So we've got a couple of level 100s, 84s, 50s. Okay, cool. So we've got a couple people that would be able to play on Ultimates. That'd be kind of nice. Yeah. Let's see if we can get a game started. So who do we got here? Organize a team, join team, normal, quickie. Well, let's jump into Casual Hollow. Why not? The other thing I traded with the same person actually was just a Game Gear game that I didn't have. It was really nothing too fun, or I shouldn't say too fun. It is actually a fun game, but nothing too special. And that's just Tom and Jerry, the movie on Game Gear. So again, just kind of a cool game to have. Guys, look at this. We've frozen already. All right, so we are going to have to reset our game, false start, and load our save. So in the last time this happened, we actually had somebody in the chat remind me that even when you restore your character, you have to exit the game, save it, and then jump back into the game. So that's what we're going to have to do this time as well. So let's go to Phantasy Star Online, load up this again, and let's see who we can find here. Hey, glad you're enjoying the streams. Yeah, there's been quite a few people that have mentioned that just by nature of bringing out the experience of playing Phantasy Star Online in 2017 has really rekindled their interest in Dreamcast. And even some people like me that never played it back in the day, but just sort of found that it was a game for them. Like, I like these kind of dungeon crawlers that aren't overly complicated. That being said, I seem to be learning new things about this game all the time. And I was leafing through the official Versus guide at a local game store, which I'm going to get to later because it kind of ticked me off. And I realized, wow, this game is a lot more complex than it appears from the outside. So anyways, yeah, there's just all sorts of little tricks. I mean, Kuroheim has certainly showed me a number of different things, and especially with things like building your mag and feeding your mag, just different attack techniques and things like that. So really, really interesting game, whether you're experienced with it or not. Okay, so we're back in Altamira. First thing we're going to do is /restore 1. And let's get out of here. BRB. Okay, so we got to quit the game now to save the restored data back to our character, and then we'll go back into the game and everything should be good. So again, sorry for the false start. It looked like everybody might have been quitting that game. Maybe that's what happened. Not 100% sure, but that's okay. These things happen. Okay, restore. Okay. Online mode. Yes. Yes. And there we go. So yeah, remember, if you are going to save your data to the server and you restore it, you have to exit the game to save the data back to your VMU. There's supposed to be another actual PSO server opening up. I saw it on the Dreamcast hub. And don't really know much information about it, but it is always kind of nice to have an alternate server start up, so. Okay. Hey, sorry about that. The game crashed, so I had to restore my character. Cool. All right. How was HH? Did you guys find anything cool? Okay, so Eureka, Photon. I think I must have played with Photon in the past. Silas, I think I know who that is too. Are you guys planning on doing another run tonight? Yeah, Dreamcast is definitely more affordable, and in fact, in case you're not aware, I use the USB GD-ROM instead of playing the disc, so it even becomes more affordable over time. It'll cost you about $200 Canadian. But you know, when you think of some of the higher end games that you might be paying for, like the USB GD-ROM plays for the game in one game in itself. Like if you plan on at some point buying something like Cannon Spike, just buy the USB GD-ROM. If you run into Cannon Spike, great, but don't spend $300 on that game. It's pretty good, but it's not great, you know? Okay, so let's find out what's going on here. Sounds good. Are you on for much longer? Yeah, Rika. So we definitely want to get a game in with our friend Eureka. We told him on the Facebook group that we wanted to play tonight. Okay, cool. Okay, no prob. I'll be on later this week as well. Cool. Well, it'll be nice to play with Eureka again. All right, let's Oh wow, that is a monster of a character. Hey. All right, so let's go to join a team. Where did everybody go? I thought we were starting an ultimate quest. Okay, let's go to chat. Let's go to guild card, choice search, and find out where send mail. Let's see if he's coming to join us. Ah, okay. Want to start a alt quest? Let's do the alt Halloween Hollow. That might actually have some pretty cool shit. Oh, cool. Kuroheim's here too. Hey. We were just about to start a alt team. Organize. Create team. PSO version 2. UGB, and difficulty ultimate. Register. Sweet. Okay, so it looks like we've got some really good players on tonight. I think I know who Silas is. I think it's a person that I'm familiar with from the PSO Facebook group, and definitely know who Kuroheim is, and I think I might have played with Photon in the past. I can't remember exactly, but you know, they seem eager to play as well, so that'll be awesome. So maybe what we'll do is see if we can get these other people in the game, and hopefully we can start a Halloween horror event. Yeah, thanks for joining, guys. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be able to do something really interesting tonight. Where did Kuroheim go? I'm curious if there are things that I've missed in the Halloween horror event. And I'm fairly confident Kuroheim is going to be the person to know. Are there any cool rewards in HH on Alt? I've done a run a few times, but I think I'm missing something. Cool. Should we wait for I can't remember how to spell that person's name for them to join? Maybe do a forest run or something. Sorry, I can't unlock the ruins or mines. Okay, so let's find out. If you want, we can ditch my team and Kuro can start a team and we can do a mine run or something. That's probably the best bet. Okay, no problem. Sure. Sounds good. So Silas, that's how you spell the person's name. Silas. Alright, so while we're waiting for Silas, let's just look over a couple more goodies. So, he dropped. Oh, that sucks. How is your connection now? Days. Kuro. So I did make a couple of really cool trades. I had an extra Atari Flashback 5 and I let somebody know that I had it and they really wanted it. Now I've got a couple of Atari Flashback 2s, which if you're gonna go for the flashbacks, the 2 is the way to do it. And the reason for that is, don't quote me on it 100%, but I think they have an FPGA board, and what that is, shitty Bright House. Okay. Why that is cool is you can use it to do one of two things. You could either put in a cartridge slot to the Atari Flashback 2, or you could take out the board and patch the Atari Flashback 2 into an existing Atari. So I've got two of those. I haven't done the mod yet. It looks moderately complicated, but at some point I really hope to try it out. So I've got a couple of those. It has all the Activision games too, which is also kind of nice. But the 5, even though it had more games, just didn't really need it. So I traded it to a guy, and he actually gave me a couple of really good trades. Where are they all here? I think. Oh yeah, sorry, I left a couple over here. Here we go. And one more thing that I traded for as well. So ended up getting a copy of Legend of Zelda: The Phantom Hourglass for the Nintendo DS. I also ended up getting a copy of Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1, which I've actually never played. It's the director's cut as well. Oh, blue ring. Oh, wow. That's cool. You gave me a ring before, and it made a huge difference in how long I last. Good question. Was it a blue ring? I think it was actually. Item, equipment. Yes, a blue ring. Okay, blue ring, yes. Blue ring looks like there's a total of 7 colors. Okay, cool. So let's let them know. Yep, blue ring. So yeah, Resident Evil Director's Cut. I know it's a bit dated, but I never got around to it. But also Resident Evil 2 on the original PlayStation. So that was a pretty good trade, I thought anyways. I know these Atari Flashback 5s go for about, people try to flip them for $100, but I doubt they get that kind of money. I generally find them pretty semi-frequently anyways out in the wild, because people just donate them after a certain time. And what did I do? Item pack, equipment, blue ring. Okay, item, blue ring, drop. Alright, let's let Kuro get a look at it, see if it's any good. And we'll get their opinion on whether it's worth the trade. Okay, take it. Item pack, equip. Cool. Let's go take our mag as well. Okay, right here. Because we always want to store our mag just to make sure that it's keeping up the synchro as long as possible. Equip, yes. And let's feed it while we're here. Okay, we can't give it items quite yet. Okay, whoa, what do we got here? Wow, all sorts of grinders. Item. Items. Okay, so defense material. Use. Okay, we're gonna beef up our weapon, I think, to the point where... Can we even add any more? No, we're good. Nice. Okay, so let's see if we can put some more on our... So we have maxed out our S rank weapon. Let's see if we can add any more to our Heaven Punisher. No luck. Okay, equipment. Let's see if we can add any more to our Yasminkov. Oh, we can also add all sorts to our Yasminkov. Wow. Okay, cool. Nope, that's where it ends. Okay. Item. Okay, so let's drop these guys. Drop. 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 And let's equip our S-rank weapon again. Wicked. Thanks, Kuro. Awesome. Okay, so we should probably start a quest. What do you think? Should we start a quest, or do you want to start a team? Kuro, probably more versatility that way. I'm pretty limited with what I can do. Tips for a noob? Not really. I mean, grind and then partner up with somebody if you can get online that is much stronger than you and hope that they can help you out. I've managed to find some really cool partners in my gameplay, and because of that, like, I mean, I would not be where I am now if it wasn't for people that have just been giving me items, giving me Meseta, giving me all sorts of materials. Also, try a couple room. You know, all that stuff. Like, I definitely wouldn't be where I am, but then again, that's what the game was based on. You know, it was based kind of like on a trading economy, and you were expected to communicate with other players and everything like that. So anyways, yeah, the only advice I can give you is if you can get online, see if you can put a shout out on either the Facebook group or the Dreamcast Live forum, and just maybe somebody can jump in and help you out. So, alright, so in case you haven't read it before, let's go through it. I see you decided to accept this quest, UGB. I am Seek of the Pioneer 2 military. I have called you here to assist in a situation developing around a goal. Until recently, I was responsible for guarding the scientists who have been studying the ruins of Ragol. During a recent experiment with unusual photons in the ruin, one of our scientists created a mysterious rift. Although he assured us that it was safe, the research team has been unable to analyze it, and the organisms in the ruins became more aggressive after the rift appeared. Most recently, they even became more powerful than usual. All of our troops have been deployed to stop the advancing organisms, but they will soon breach our defensive lines. Our scientists have developed a way to seal the rift, but we cannot spare any troops to deploy the new countermeasure. That is why you are here, UGB. Your job is to penetrate the ruins and seal the rift. You can use this photon emitter to complete your task. Got photon emitter. Activate it once you have reached the rift. I suggest you finish the mission, all due haste. The rift must be sealed before the ruin organisms overwhelm our defenses. Good luck. You mean that secret door that I could not open? So the last couple times we've played this quest on normal, there's been a door that we can't get through. So I just have a sneaking suspicion that that is that is what they're referring to. All right, sweet. Okay, so let's jump in here, and they probably want me to jump in the game because we need all the characters here in order to get through the cutscene. So here's the cutscene. Again, this quest was developed by the Sysop, and he did all of the animations and everything, so pretty cool little quest. Wherefore, how hast thou come to this place, where hunters vanish without a trace? These ruins belong to men no more, for their presence we spirits do deplore. If thou dost not thy course reverse, upon thy head we shall place a curse. Those who trespass on our sacred ground shall have their hands tightly bound. Alright, so in case you didn't know, that little fuzzy thing is going to follow us around occasionally, and different things are going to happen depending on kind of like what the random generation of penalty it is for touching you. So oftentimes it'll paralyze you, but also it's been known to... Oh geez, we're gonna really need to... Okay, cool. So it looks like we've got some tech thrown our way, so that's good. Yeah, so randomly it'll penalize you if you touch it. The one downside to me playing this is that I play with the sound off, and the reason I do that is so it doesn't pick up in the microphone when I'm streaming. So the big downside to that is that the little fuzzy thing, see how it kind of snuck up behind me? Now, you guys probably heard this little chime starting up, but unfortunately I cannot hear it because I'm not playing with the sound. So kind of sucks because it just makes me more blind to, oh shit, what possibly is happening in the game, and for some reason I can't hit anybody worth anything. Oh, fuck's sakes, this is bad. Wow, okay, we are gonna be in real rough shape here. Poor Kuro is like desperately trying to keep us alive. Alright, let's... Oh no, this is not good. We have barely even started the game and we are already getting our asses handed to us. Okay, let's see if we can do anything. Maybe even... Oh no, okay, so there's the fuzzy thing that I reminded everybody will punish us. Is that any good? Oh, I think I can always use some Trimate. Oh no, go away, go away. Alright, so we'll see how far we get. It might be a short game. Especially if we can't seem to tag anything or really do any effective damage. That's really going to frustrate some of the higher end characters. Although it seems like we're hitting for something. Well, maybe not. Yeah, okay, we are hitting for a little bit. So I'm not going to write this off just yet. Hey, before I'll quit... Yeah, I'll quit so your guy can join. Okay, so I guess we're done. Alright, well, if that's the case, I guess we're going back to Pioneer. Wow. Oh no, I guess I got hit by a photon ball type deal. Shit, okay. Let's try and back up and see if we can snipe a few hits. See, occasionally we do hit for quite a bit. This weapon does have a little bit of pep to it, but unfortunately the hits seem so random. Oh fuck. Well, there we go. Did we lose our weapon? No, we didn't. Good idea. We need a fourth for sure. Okay, let's get out of this place. Ah! Okay, let's launch a trap, and hopefully that'll at least give us a little bit of... Oh no, this is not good. Okay, let's just keep launching traps until we can get out of here. Oh shit. Oh no, and that like photon ball thing got me again. Damn. Yeah, the colors in this game are absolutely gorgeous, and a big help to that is certainly the way that I'm capturing the colors. So VGA just makes it all that much more vibrant, and I am also upscaling it as well. I do add a small filter on the gameplay. Not too much. I just I boost up the gamma a little bit just to make it a little bit sharper, and I also bring down the contrast quite a bit just to make the darks a little bit darker. You can do that also on the at-loan of 500, but I typically don't do that. I'd rather do it sort of as a real-time effect rather than doing it on the actual upscaler. The only reason for that is just because I have more control of it. I could change it on the fly, but then I actually have to go into the hardware, and the problem with that is then I'm sort of pushing buttons in front of me instead of just tapping on my keyboard and changing things, you know, as I need to change things. But yeah, the at-loan of 500, that's another advantage to it. You can fully change the color spectrum, brightness, hue, gamma, all that kind of stuff. You can color correct pretty much everything to a you know, a moderate degree. It's not a basic setting. It's not like there's just a brightness meter and stuff like that. Okay. You can change the color on it quite a bit. Oh no! Okay, did we do anything? No. Alright, let's get out of here. Goodbye. Well, this was a short game, but we're not done yet. We are just starting. So we're gonna go back to Pioneer. We're gonna find our Silace, and hopefully Kuro or somebody can join or start a quest, and then from there we'll see what happens next. So let's get out of here. Quit the game. Yes. Okay, and we're going back to Pioneer. And while we're here, we might as well save our game as well, just in the event that we screw up royally. So, save 1, character data saved. Alright, while we are waiting for everybody else, let's quickly go through a couple of other things that I grabbed recently. So, these actually got today. They were pretty cool. So I got these at a thrift store, and I've only played a limited amount of this game on PS2. I have parts 1 and 2, but I guess this would probably be the most optimum way to play because it has all the expansions to it, and that's Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. The controls in the original Kingdom Hearts weren't the best, and I've heard that they've been improved in this, and I noticed that even when I was playing. But again, a couple bucks, thought it was a good find. And this too, just for curiosity's sake, found the Warcraft 2 Battle.net Edition Prima strategy guide. So I probably won't utilize that much because, Kuro, did you want to start a quest? Where is Lace? So just in case you're wondering, I am actually a much better typer, but the Dreamcast keyboard is terrible. Okay, did someone message him? Alright, let's go back to a better view here. The new server, I don't know much information about. I just saw a article on Dreamcast Hub, or it would have been Dreamcast Online. But recently saw it on Dreamcast Hub, and that was pretty much it. So hopefully there's some more information soon. I don't necessarily know what the new server would have to offer. I would love to. Yeah, to do a full HH would be great. Sweet. Okay, so I guess we're still waiting on him. So in the interim, while we're waiting for him to get out of game, I just wanted to kind of go over a couple other cool things that I've recently acquired So let me just move these out of the way. I've got so much stuff, guys. I just don't even know where I'm putting it all. But a lot of this stuff doesn't really cost me a lot, and sometimes I show it off and then I get rid of it anyways. But maybe I'll just bring this up just to let you know that cart shopping rather, and thrifting is not dead yet. So I recently walked into a Salvation Army thrift store, and I noticed they had a couple of Super Nintendo games, and I thought, okay, well, I'll take a look. They're generally like a couple of NHL games or racing games or something like that. Nothing really any good. They had 5 games, and sure enough, there were a couple of those titles. But then I saw a couple of titles like, holy shit, I can't believe you're selling this. And those are these 2 games here. So the first one, and I left the price tags on just because I had to show them off, was Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And as you can see here, it cost $9.99. Dirt cheap. And the second game I got, this will blow your mind, especially if you're a Nintendo fan. I don't necessarily love the Super Nintendo, but there are a couple of games that are must-have. That's this, Secret of Mana for the Super Nintendo for $9.99. It's like this is 2001 all over again. I can't recall the last time I've seen a Super Nintendo game, especially of that caliber, for so cheap. Okay, so we're bursting in. What else can I say? $10 Canadian, no tax because it's Salvation Army. Great game if you haven't played it. It's especially cool if you can find 2 other players to play with, because you do play with 3 characters that, playing single player campaign, you can join, or you can switch in between the characters, but you can also have up to 3 players join you. So a really, really fun game. I beat it once a long time ago, and I'm certainly going to beat it again. So just wanted to show that off. That was pretty cool. Also at the same place, I ended up finding a fully functioning PSP 2001 for $20. I've wanted a PSP for a long time, and a 2001 is pretty much the version to go to if you're going to get into things like soft modding and stuff like that. But yeah, I was really happy with it. Fired it up, worked fine. I ordered a new battery and a new charger because it didn't come with a charger, and the battery felt those old PSP batteries, they're not the best. So where is Kuro? No Kuro? Oh, okay, Kuro's using their different character. Nice. Okay, I have got to go let the cat out, actually. So I will be back in 1 second. Okay, thank you for your patience. Alright, let's go to the guild and catch up on the conversation. Here I come. Alright, so let's wait here until everybody comes back. Yeah, so I mean, I was very happy with that purchase. I couldn't really go wrong. Only came to about $40. that you would spend more than twice that on Secret of Mana alone. And I've always wanted a PSP, especially the 2001, because I heard it's the best for soft modding. The 3000, the actual game console itself isn't much different, other than the fact that I think it has a microphone. But the hardware is no more powerful than the PSP 2001, and from what I understand, the 2001 is a little bit easier to soft mod as well. So, anyways, excellent find. Also, found this before we jump into the gameplay here. Just because I got to get out of the way, and I'm sure that people are wondering what it is. So previously, I think I told everybody that I ended up finding a copy of a show that just blew my mind. So it's right here. It's Captain Power, the complete series. Okay. If you haven't watched it before, it's a Canadian production. It's like a kid's show about a post-apocalyptic future where the metal wars were won by robots and they're trying to turn people into androids. But the cool thing about it was you had a toy that came with it, but you were expected to purchase. And there's scenes in the television show that have like infrared, that if you have the proper toy, you can interact with it and you can shoot the enemies on the screen. And that is this right here. So here's my little Captain Power figure. I traded it at the Geek swap, and there's a little trigger button at the back, and you're supposed to push that with your thumb. And then there's this little sensor up here, and you shoot at the parts of the screen, excuse me, that light up on the television. And if you catch it quick enough, then what'll happen is you'll kind of get like a little, I guess like a little vibration or something like that on the actual toy. But if you lose, what ends up happening is your little man will jump off the post, and that just means you're dead. So you can get it for most of the characters in the television series. And I traded a guy, I can't remember, it was a couple comic books or something like that. But yeah, really cool little trade. I did not expect that. The toys don't go for terribly much on eBay, that they're about $30 or something like that. But for a couple of comic books, why not go for the trade, right? Alright, so we'll blast through this, but we're not going to read it because we read it earlier. So you guys are all very familiar with it. Okay, let's just finish. Perfect. And these are just a couple of CDs. I'm sure nobody really cares, but always wanted to have this back. I bought it way back in the day. It's Saturday Morning Cartoons soundtrack done by a bunch of alt bands in the 90s. Something called Radical Techno, just because it looked like cheesy 90s techno. And Apollo 440's Millennium Fever, which has a fucking awesome song called Film Me, Finish Me Off. Look it up on YouTube. It's a great little industrial sort of EBM track. Alright, we are good to go. So, let's... I hate the ghosts. Yep, it's a pain. Okay, so let's get right to business here. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, we're doing well so far. Let's see if we can keep up this momentum. Looks like we got a pretty strong campaign. I'm definitely going to be the weakest link, but that's okay. We're going to do our best to support our team members, and hopefully we'll be able to blast right through this. I think Kuro, which is Yukina, that's their alternate character, and Silace are probably going to be the heavy hitters here. Although Vertigo appears to be quite experienced as well. I'm just not 100% sure if they're experienced with this quest. Okay, oh, tag me already. Damn it. Okay, so I guess I'm paralyzed. Great. I'm pretty sure the first level of this quest, he just paralyzes you, and then in later levels of the quest, he actually starts doing alternate sort of random penalties. So, okay, let's see if we can do any useful damage to these guys. Great. Anything here we can use? Nope. And great. Well, that actually wasn't too bad, I gotta admit. I think the team we have here is pretty solid, so there's a good chance we're gonna get through this quest fairly easily. Alright, so I am just gonna do my best to kind of hang back, tag as many as possible. It does look like I'm doing a bit of damage. Oh, and that ghost got me again. God damn it. Didn't even see it that time. Okay. There we go. See, again, like I was saying before, since I can't hear it coming, generally it'll give you a bit of a heads up. But if it's sneaking up behind you and you don't have any speakers or headphones on, I guess I could wear my headphones, but I do find them a bit of a distraction. Kind of like the freedom of not having headphones and, you know, not hearing the gunfire and things like that is a bit of a... It does lessen the experience a little bit, but I find also I spend so much time kind of... Oh, that was an interesting little jump. In the commentary and also kind of maintaining other things in the stream that less distractions the better. Okay. Trimate. Can we use that? No. Sweet. Oh, he got me again. Motherfucker. Oh, and I'm dead. Alright, well. Let's see if anybody can bring me back. That'd be nice if they can. Let's grab our Meseta. And, you know, on the plus side, at least now we are restored and we're not penalized anymore. Okay, we gotta get our rhythm for our attack as well. See, the problem is that if you pay attention here, you'll notice that there's like this glow around Yukina, and if we're close to them, we can't see the glow of the photon creature. Oh, Tri-Grinder. Okay, moving on. Oh, and there it is, and okay. So what happens is, even though I can see it kind of coming from behind me, I've really got to start paying attention to basically a 360-degree monitoring of what I'm doing. You've got about 2 or 3 minutes after the last attack to prepare yourself, but you can't always time it, and sometimes when you're in the thick of things, especially if you're... Oh, HP material, cool. Especially if you're using like the 3-fire rhythm to attack some of the enemies, you're going to be a little bit vulnerable because there's a bit of a pause after you fire. So, I mentioned earlier that I went to a local game store and I was pawing through the Phantasy Star Online official versus guide manual. And that was because I had brought in a bunch of extra things that I'd recently purchased in an excellent eBay, or not eBay rather, Kijiji buy, which I'm going to show you. No, get out of there, get out of there. Oh. Which I'm going to show you guys a little bit later because there's a lot of stuff to go through. But anyways, I had a bunch of extra games, a lot of PS2 games, a couple of extra game cases, a couple of like DS and 3DS cases, a couple of Nintendo games, a bunch of sealed sort of handheld LCD games and things like that. Oh, I'm dead already. Great. Okay, freeze. Let's just see if we can get ourselves out of here now. Here we go. Perfect. What else did I bring them? A couple of joysticks, a couple of control pads for like a Sega Master System of all things, because I don't have a Sega Master System, but I ran into a couple of controllers, and you know, those are quite valuable. So I brought it in and I thought, you know, let's just bring in a bunch of stuff. We're not going to pay off the mortgage with this trade, but maybe we can get like 20 bucks in our pocket and we can do some trading and maybe get a game or something for it, something that we'll actually use. So again, I wasn't expecting much, but I went there and I've dealt with these guys before. And so if you're in Toronto, the store I'm referring to is a pretty popular used game store called A&C Games. Oh shit, where is everybody? And they've been around for quite some time. I used to really support them when they were first starting out. They had a location, it was fairly small, and you know, I always want to support my local game store. So I went there and I sold them some things that I knew I was probably going to regret a little bit later, but I didn't necessarily need them. I sold them things like a TurboGrafx 16 with a couple of carts there. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. What else did I sell them? An Atari XL 2000, which that I kind of regret more than the TurboGrafx 16. But I think I got a couple $100 in credit for that kind of stuff, and I ended up getting a couple games that I really, really wanted. Like at the time, Gargoyle's Quest 2 for the NES wasn't as ridiculously priced as it is now, so I ended up getting that for a decent price. And I also got Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom as well, which is an excellent game if you haven't played it before. It's a point-and-click adventure, and it starts off fairly easy and gets increasingly more difficult as it goes along. The first couple of puzzles, even if you get lost, you can sometimes just sort of guess your way out of it. Holy shit. Pretty simply, just by hitting a combination of familiar buttons. But I got that, and you know, I was okay with what they gave me. I got a couple of good games. Because I wasn't going to start playing TurboGrafx 16. You know, I kind of realized that early on. And at the time when I traded, this is going back about 6 years ago, I think. The system, even though it was fairly expensive, it wasn't nearly as expensive as it is now. Even common carts are going to set you back quite a bit of money. So, holy shit. So anyways, traded all that stuff. Great. Frees up space so I can buy things that I want to get. Jesus Christ. Can we do anything here? No, we fucking did it too late. Okay. Sorry for swearing. So anyways, I kind of stopped going to this place because I had a couple of trades that I felt you know, even though I wanted to support them, you know, I was looking around the store and I was like, okay, so you're selling like issue number 1 Nintendo Power with poster for $100. Fair enough. That seems insanely expensive, but you know, maybe that means that I'll be able to get some good trade value for some of the stuff I'm bringing in. And you know, even though I don't plan on getting that, because I actually have the first 60 issues of Nintendo Power complete. Those are the first 60 issues that I remember the most growing up as a kid, because I never had a I never had a Super Nintendo back in the day, and then when Nintendo Power went on to talk more about Super Nintendo, I sort of lost interest. But anyways, I went walking around the store. I was leafing around, looking at different guides and stuff like that, and waiting. And again, I was like, okay, maybe $20 I'll get some sort of cheap game or something like that. You know, something just sort of fun to play and nothing that's too exciting, but you know, maybe a Game Gear game or something like that. I was looking at their collection and they had a couple of games I was interested in. Wow, this is painful, guys. I have no idea why I'm dying so much. And about 20 minutes later, the guy walks up to me. And again, I had some games that... It was like Kingdom Hearts 2. That was one of the games. There was the SOCOM games, which are not worth too much. But, you know, some good games like Ultimate Alliance. What else did I have in there? You know, some middle-of-the-road type games. So I thought, okay, good enough. The guy comes up to me and he says, I can offer you $2 in cash or $5 in credit. And I was a bit stunned. I'm like, you seriously didn't come up to me and offer me $2 in cash for a grocery bag full of gaming items or $5 in credit and expect me as a reasonable person to be like, yeah, that's cool, let's do it. Like, again, I wasn't expecting to make a ton of money off my trades, but $2? $2, you've got to be kidding me. I politely said, okay, no problem, it's business, and I left. But I also told myself, you know what, this is it for ANC Games. I am never going back to this place again. Their prices have gone through the roof, and the problem I've always had with them is that ANC Games bases their prices, like, I get it, brick and mortar stores, you know, it costs more to get the place operational, and you pay the premium because you get to walk into a store and physically look at things. Okay, fair enough. But they also price match everything on eBay, and it's nothing that's sold. It's all like whatever the average rate of the most recent eBay cost is, which is really counterintuitive to running a gaming store, because the problem with that is that most people will mark up stuff on eBay by about 15% to compensate for costs. You know, the cost of selling something on eBay is going to cost you about 15% after all is said and done, through the random fees and stuff like that they withdraw through PayPal and eBay and listing fees and things of that nature, right? So, okay, I get it. But ANC Games also has an eBay store, and they increased their stuff 15% there as well. So they're increasing, they're falsely inflating the costs of their games on eBay to justify the inflation that they apply to their in-game games. And seriously, this is going to be the downfall of a lot of these brick and mortar stores, because there's a plateau to how much you can expect to get from this. There's a finite amount of games out there for people to acquire, and there's only so much people are going to be willing to pay. There's a couple of hardcores out there, I get it, that will pay stupid amounts of money for carts if they're going to be collecting like a full set. You know, I'm sort of that person myself to some degree. But you can't be commanding some of the prices that they're commanding and expect to have a business that's going to last, you know, another 5 years. It's impossible. I can't possibly see how they can keep increasing the amount of money they're asking for some of these games. And comments too. Like, I mean, if you're asking, you know, $15, $20 for Super Mario Brothers, like, what kind of person is going to spend that kind of money on Super Mario Brothers? You've got to be kidding me. Like, it's the most common game out there for Super Nintendo, or for Nintendo rather. But again, you know, they're going to be the makers of their own fate. So yeah, I won't be going back there again. Their games are too expensive to buy in the first place. There's nothing that I can't find in alternate places. And, you know, the customer service is okay-ish. There's a couple of people that are a little bit rude, but overall everybody's pretty nice. It's just, I think they prey on people that go in there, maybe like older people that have a box of games, or maybe they just troll yard sales and thrift stores too and buy their merchandise that way. I don't know. But, you know, if they're going to be trying to deal with people like myself, which are kind of like, you know, middle-ish game collectors. Like, I don't have a huge collection, but I have a decent game collection, and I know the value of games, and I also know that I am not a person when I'm selling games that I expect to get the maximum amount that's being commanded online. I just think that's totally unreasonable, because most people online, they charge absurd amounts for very common pieces of product, and they do that for a multitude of reasons. Sometimes it's just because they're fishing, you know, like post something up and hope for the best, and other times they're doing it because they think that that's the actual value that they can get for that game. But for me, it's, you know, as much as I'd like to support a local game store like ANC, I just can't do it. I'm done with them, and it's a shame too, because they do have a nice store. It's just, I can't justify paying the prices that they're requesting. Awesome. Okay, room 1 is clear. Conversely, okay, it's not all doom and gloom when it comes to local game stores. There is a game store that I go to every once in a while, and it's located in the East End of Toronto. And it's a bit sketchy, but it has a really large selection of games. It's like a pawn shop too, so it like deals in jewelry and things of that nature. But you know, they have good pricing games. I can walk in there any day of the week and they have a cleaned and tested Nintendo with 2 controllers, power supply, and RF adapter for $55, which I think is more than reasonable. I also go in there and if I'm selling things, like they'll buy PS3 controllers for $15 each. So I think that's a very reasonable, that's cash, that's not even trade value, that's just cash. So I think that's more than reasonable for trade value, and cash is $15 for a controller. That is actually no more than what I would ask for on Craigslist for 2 controllers. You know, I generally ask like $30 or something like that. So I think that they're pretty reasonable in that regard. But when I walked in there the other day, they did something that was way beyond what I expected. So I think I mentioned in my last video that I'm currently on the hunt for another Game Gear power supply, or battery, portable battery. And the reason for that is I'm going to try and do an internal mod to my Game Gear. Sorry for yawning, guys. So I was walking around, and that's actually one of the reasons I went to ANC. Originally I wanted to see if they had one. They didn't, of course. But I went to this place called Buy and Sell Kings. It's located, if you're in Toronto, it's on the Danforth in between Main Street and Victoria Park. Looks like a hole-in-the-wall pawn shop. And I was talking to the guys, and the cool thing about those guys is that they're game fans as well. So I said, hey, I'm looking for 2 things. So the first thing I was looking for was 999 on DS. I always ask if people have that, even though they typically don't. I know it's not a rare game. There's quite a few copies available online, but I'm looking for one locally for a little bit cheaper. I'm really in no rush. And I said, okay, I'm looking for the rechargeable battery pack for a Sega Game Gear, and they didn't quite know what I was talking about. So I broke out my Game Gear, my Sega Game Gear with the modded McWill screen and VJ out, and I said, and it had the battery pack that I recently put together with the RC battery rather. And the guy noticed the VGA port at the bottom. He said, oh cool, is that a modded Game Gear? And I said, actually it is, let me show you. And I fired it up, and they were both blown away by the screen with how clear it was. And they're like, oh my god, can you do this for me? I love this system. I was like, oh, it's actually a mod you buy online and install yourself. I could do it, but it's not the cheapest thing in the world. Which they understood, which was fine. He said he's still pretty interested in it. But then he saw the battery pack thing, and he's like, okay, I think I might have something for you. He says, come upstairs. So we went upstairs to, I guess, their processing room, where they have all sorts of stuff. Okay, great, I'm paralyzed. And went there, and he was digging through a bunch of boxes, and he found one. He's like, is this what you're looking for? I said, yeah, it is. Thank you so much. And brought it downstairs, and I went and looked at a couple other games because I was going to walk out and buy a few more things. And couldn't find anything that I really wanted. But I went up to them and I said, okay, cool guys, well, I really appreciate all your help. How much do I owe you? And the guy said nothing. Nothing. It's like, yeah, no, you can just have it. You know, we want to see what you do with that mod. Maybe you could help us out with fixing a couple Game Gears. And I was like, are you guys serious? I was like, yeah, just take it, no problem. We're not going to be able to sell it anyway. Nobody buys those things. Like, oh man, that's so cool. So they just let me keep it. Here it is right here. So that's the external battery that I was looking for, the exact model. And it's from a pawn shop, a sketchy looking pawn shop at that. And just run by some really cool gamer guys. So yeah, if you're looking at getting rid of stuff, don't judge a book by its cover. Buy and Sell Kings on the Danforth, great store, excellent prices, really good customer service, and I couldn't believe it. Like, there's no reason that they would, they should have given me that stuff. So really, really happy with that. Hopefully hopefully the mod will work. I'm going to try and put it in a Game Gear that isn't my McWill, just in the event that it does screw up. Oh shoot. Let's freeze these guys, see if we can help out our friend Kuro. So yeah, that's next on the chopping block, is to just figure out this whole mod Game Gear pack. It's actually a pretty simple mod. It wouldn't take me very long. It's just trying to figure out if it'll actually fit in the fit in the housing. So I'm gonna give it a shot, and then if it does work, I'll put it in my McWill. And yeah, I'm really interested to see if my idea does come through. Okay. Oh, holiness armor. That might... No, we don't need any of that now. Now that we got the rings and stuff like that, we're pretty set for armor. Alright, is anything else going to jump out at us? Oh, there's something else that we didn't quite finish off. Where is he? Oh, I'm confused now. Great! Okay, so we're just waiting for... Ah, gotcha. These guys here. Yeah, David, totally get one. Like, I was leafing through it and I was surprised with how useful it is, especially for building characters. They just give you, you can find all of this information online. It's not terribly difficult, but I find just having something tangible in your hand is so much more pleasant to leaf through. And that's why I've been getting strategy guides lately, because they're just nice to have, especially if you can find them for cheap. Oh shoot. This is not good. This is not good. Okay. Oh, I managed to avoid him. I think I did anyway. Conserve your traps. Ring at the end of R2. Okay, sweet. Good to know. Good to know. So the ring he's referring to is the recharge ring. I'm out. Oh, shoot. Just damage left. Alright, well, I will try and hold on to as many traps as possible. Wow, harsh. Ah, oh, damn, got tagged again. And my guy is paralyzed. Sweet. Item. Sweet. I never really used the anti-paralysis. Okay. Can we get anything else? Oh, HP material. That's always useful. Okay, let's go through some of our items here and clear up our item pack a little bit. Alright. So what we're going to do is hold on to the rest of the traps that we... Oh, for fuck's sakes. Hold on to the rest of the traps that we do have. And hopefully we'll be able to make it to the next recharge ring. And that should be making life a little bit easier. And we missed that one as well. Damn it. Alright, so the thing about this particular level is that you cannot escape back to Pioneer once you've started it. You can't use a telepipe. The only way you can go back is if you die, and then when you die you don't have a telepipe to bring you back to where everybody else is either, so you've got to run the map again, and it can get quite tedious. So the idea is to stick around in the game as much as possible, and hopefully... Oh shit. I actually still have quite a few traps left, so let's not conserve them too much. Okay, there we go. Sweet. Oh, cool. More HP material. Alright. And we unlocked it. So this is the big room I think they're referring to. Oh, there's Yukina. Oh, I think they're building up their photon. Ah! Okay, let's get out of here. Into the ring. So this is the big room that they were referring to. Yes, this one is a pain. So I was recently following up with Tom at the Dreamcast Junkyard with some of the information that somebody gave me last stream regarding Elysian Shadows, and you know, I think I was a bit hard on Falco, but regardless, he's not really followed up with anybody, so it's so hard to understand what's true and what's not true. But anyways, I mentioned that there was a rumor that Elysian Shadows was going to be a Steam-only release. So after the stream, I tried to do a bit of research. I was looking up online for recent interviews, and I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything to support that. I couldn't find anything to support that theory that it was going to be Steam only. So I messaged Tom and I said, hey, it looks like there's a rumor that Elysian Shadows is going to be Steam only, and it looks like DC is off the table. He said he'd follow up with Falco and send him a message. Now, I haven't heard a response from it, but I'm assuming that no response means that maybe that information wasn't 100% accurate. Because I have a feeling if it was the truth, that would have probably been article worthy of the Dreamcast Junkyard, and there would be a good possibility that they would be updating the rest of the contributors to that project, that they would not be receiving their Dreamcast copy. So at this point, I'm going to assume that maybe they are going to still go ahead, if the game ever does get finished, and release it on the platforms that were promised. I can't guarantee that, but I'm assuming that their silence and lack of response from Tom at the Dreamcast Junkyard tells me that that is what's going to happen. I'm still remaining optimistic, even though I'm still pretty ticked that those guys have really shot themselves in the foot in terms of the goodwill from the Dreamcast community with their lack of updates and sort of idle, I shouldn't say idle promises, just untrue updates. Like, we're going to release it this time, okay, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that, we're going to be updating our YouTube channel with our whole Adventures in Game Development series, which was doing well for a little bit and then stopped doing anything at all. Tells me that they've kind of given up 100%. But yeah, again, I don't want to trash them too much, because it appears as though they are still going to be following through with the project as promised at some point, although no release dates have yet to be given. Okay, what do we got here? Anything we can use? Nope. Oh no, get out of here, get out of here. Alright, where is our little photon friend? Is he following behind us, or is he done? I think he's probably done. Oh no, oh no. Okay, let's recalibrate our character and get out of these very vulnerable positions. Oh shit, these guys are bad news. Let's see if we can help out by freezing. Perfect. Maybe that'll buy everybody a little bit of time. I'm going to tag from behind. That's the way I roll. And hopefully that will allow my... Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Yay, we're done. Hopefully that'll allow my partners and I to finish this room off. Yeah, it gets pretty intense. Okay, so we're all regrouping. I think there's a recharge ring somewhere. Where's the ring? Whereabouts is the recharge ring? Secret switch. Okay. Oh, damn. Okay, to the left. And I'm paralyzed again. Paralyzed. Okay, to the left of Kuro, there's a secret switch with a recharge ring. So let's try and find that. Oh, sweet. There it is. So this must be it right here. Oh, awesome. Okay, that's really good to know. So let's recharge our character. And looks like they've already activated that, so that's cool. So now we have all of our traps back, right? Nice. And that's the secret warp. So if anybody's playing the Halloween event and you didn't know about that, Kuro just revealed where the secret warp is. How they found it, I have no idea. Okay, so it looks like room 2 is cleared. Is there a secret switch in R3? Because there is that door that we weren't able to activate last time. Okay. So while we're waiting for that to load, I'm going to show you guys one of the cooler finds of my geeky little event. And that's this right here. So I'm a big RoboCop fan. And any original RoboCop I really enjoy finding. So I did do a trade for a couple comic books for this 1993 RoboCop 3 action figure. And the cool thing about it is the battery, it's sealed and everything like that, but the battery still works. So let's see if it... I don't know if you can hear that. Here we go. And the visor lights up and everything like that. So pretty cool little trade. Again, just for a couple of comics. Nothing I really care about. I honestly don't even collect comics, you know, so it's... I always seem to acquire them because I'm always kind of curious, but in the end I just don't ever really... I'll read them, but then as soon as I'm done reading them, that's it, right? Okay, so we are all set for room 3. My BBA is hooked up, so hopefully I won't DC. We did have that problem in the past. Okay, bang, bang, bang. So we have a lot of these wizards that seems to do instant kills. So we just gotta be very aware of them, as well as being aware of where that photon creature is. And also keep a really close eye on where Kuro is going for the secrets, because it appears as though there's a secret switch probably somewhere that unlocks that door that we were unable to access the last 2 times we tried to play these quests. Damn. Okay, so we need some... I'll get some moon out. Oh, fuck. moon atomizers just in case. Sorry, forgot to switch to the other screen. And look at that, my character is tiny. Isn't that friggin' cute? Which means my defenses are like nothing. Also means I'm going to be traveling at a snail's pace. Oh well, c'est la vie, right? Okay, I think I should be rebounding soon enough. Speaking of the Dreamcast Junkyard and things like that, there was also a notice recently about the Intrepid Izzy Kickstarter project. Now, I'm particularly leery of Kickstarter projects lately, just because of the amount that haven't seemed to follow through. Now, I realize there's no money taken if the games don't come out, but that said, I don't really feel like giving people money for games that aren't going to be released. I'd rather give people money for games that have already been released, or, you know, like I don't like the idea of pre-ordering for a concept anymore. I've kind of lost my love for that, and the reason for that is just like too many Dreamcast games. The last 3 Dreamcast games that I supported haven't come through. So Slave, Elysian Shadows, and In the Line of Fire. All games that I supported in one way or another. 2 games which do have my money currently, and then 1 game which didn't even get that far. They just didn't get enough support, which was really disappointing because In the Line of Fire looked like a really, really interesting game. I know people were kind of giving it a hard time, saying that the graphics looked a bit dated, but it was an over-the-shoulder shooter set in, I guess, like a bank or something to that effect, and you just don't see much of that for the Dreamcast, if anything, that I can find. So, yeah, kind of disappointed that game didn't go through. But just because of the amount of money I've put out, and I realize Senile Team is the one releasing it, which are a very reputable team, great. It also means that if it does get released, it's going to be available for quite some time. And if you haven't seen the trailer, Intrepid Izzy looks like a pretty decent little platformer. It does look like it's going to be a fun game when it's released. Doesn't necessarily look like it needs to be on the Dreamcast, but, you know, all the power to them if they want to release it for that system. But yeah, I guess it's kind of plateaued in terms of how much money it's been able to bring in. And I think that's a big problem, is that some of these projects require a lot of funding to get off the ground. And the reality is that there's just so much money that the community can contribute to these projects. You know, the fan base for the Dreamcast probably isn't as big as most people think it is. Also, that being said, marketing for these projects isn't the best. You generally hear about these things after the fact, and things go quite expensive on eBay. Things like Stormwind, for instance, before they re-released that, the original version was going for quite a significant amount of money, triple digits, and at one point I was actually tempted to buy it before I ended up getting my reproduction copy, but reissued copy of that game. So it's an official release, it's just the second release of the game, which to me is totally fine. It's legit, it's an official release of the game, it's just not the first. And my collection is not really based on that, so I really don't mind at all having that in my collection. So yeah, I'm torn. I really want the game to come out. It doesn't necessarily look like I shouldn't say my type of game, because I do enjoy platformers, but I don't think I'll get as much enjoyment out of it as I would some other games. I still really haven't given enough time to things like, oh damn, Tier Solaire. Definitely haven't given enough to Stormwind. So yeah, I got so many games in the back burner. It's really hard for me to think about supporting a new game, especially a game I know I'm not going to really enjoy to its fullest extent. That fucking wizard and its insta-kills. God damn it. Okay, let's see if we can just kind of knock it. Oh, Jesus. So maybe we can just tag these guys, get them out of the way. That being said, I still might do it. You know what's funny? I got an update from a Kickstarter project, which I totally forgot that I supported, and that's for that new Dreamcast book, like the history of the Dreamcast, by the same guys. I think they did one for the Sega Genesis, and it looks like a beautiful book, beautiful art book. I just supported the basic release. I didn't feel like I needed to put out that much money for it. Like, you can get custom covers and things. Oh, for fuck's sakes. But I didn't go that far. It was already an expensive book to begin with. But yeah, I think overall, like, the book, they've already had one go with it. And again, Senile Team has a pretty good reputation. I don't think this is going to be sitting on the shelf and never getting released. I think it will get released. They've got a good reputation for games. But I just probably won't get around to it. There is one game that I really want to pick up. I might get it on PlayAsia because I got a 5% off coupon. And that's the new port of Flashback, which looks fantastic. That's an old PC game that's been ported to Dreamcast. And, oh shit, did somebody take all my money? I think they did. Oh, okay, well, I guess they needed it more than I do. That's fine. I noticed. No worries. I realize it was an accident. I got lots in the bank. Okay, are we going to the warp? Wow. Shit. This is a mess. What a mess. So yeah, going back to previously. Yeah, I know, I gotta definitely concentrate on building my character up. Going back to the Geek Swap event that I was telling you guys about earlier. So I've gone to 3 already, and this was by far the... I got a lot of pickups, but I didn't get rid of as much stuff as I probably would have liked. I was looking hopefully to unload a lot more this time around, and I just didn't get around to it. I did get some really cool trades, but I think a lot of people just had a lot of stuff there, and the stuff that I had to offer, it's not that it wasn't interesting. I did get rid of quite a few large, big ticket items, which I was very happy to get rid of. I used to have, I say used to have because I traded it, a couple of very large figures, and again, I don't really collect toys. I just seem to run into toys. So here's a little, if this is a little indication of my personal character, it might be a little too revealing, but I definitely have no inhibition about, don't break any boxes, okay. I have no inhibition about if I'm on the street and I see a box that says like free or just has stuff in it, just pawing around, you know? You never know what you're gonna find. And I did that a couple months ago and ended up finding a whole box full of vintage action figures. And I sold quite a few of them. I got some decent money, like some Generation 1 Transformers for 80 bucks a piece. A Conan figure, which apparently goes used for a couple hundred, but I got rid of it for 80. I was more than happy to do that. But yeah, you know, just a couple of odds and ends, and I ended up getting this large, you can look it up online, it's like a 28-inch long Matrix Sentinel figure, and it was mostly complete. It was missing a few of its pincers, which I mentioned on the trade. And a guy, before the trade started, emailed me and said, hey, do you want to trade for this? And I saw it and I was like, yeah, that actually looks really, really cool. And what I ended up trading for was I do like some LCD handhelds, and I don't know how long I'll hold on to this. And the only reason I say that is because I'm starting to adopt more of the Gene Simmons approach to life, which is, or sorry, Paul Stanley, which is that some things are worth having, that not everything's worth keeping. So I don't mind grabbing things every once in a while, but then, you know, immediately getting rid of them only because they take up a lot of space, and they might make me happy in the moment, but holding on to them in the long term is definitely nothing that I really need to do. So here, while we're waiting to get into this door, oh god, this is going to be a slog. I am just going to switch my camera over and show you guys really quick what I'm talking about. This is a 1987 official Sega Afterburner LCD cockpit. Okay, let me move this guy too. Put him on the floor. And it is a really cool LCD game. The controller moves left to right. You also have the throttle here, goes up and down, and the screen is very vibrant. It's very responsive. It's just a really cool little LCD handheld game to have. I played a couple of rounds of it. It was a lot of fun. But again, it is such a huge thing. I do have a bit of shelf space, but I just don't think I need to keep it. So I put it out there if anybody wants to buy it locally, and I do have a couple of offers that are fairly reasonable, so I think I might pursue those. But yeah, for the short period of time that I do plan to have it in my collection, it's a pretty little interesting piece, you know? All these old handheld LCD games, they can be fairly unique. Okay, let's use a freeze trap. Growing up as a kid, it wasn't really even about the novelty of using these things. Like, this is just pretty much all you had. I can recall spending countless hours playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one, LCD handheld game. And I actually beat it at one point. Those games you can beat. They don't just go on forever. The only thing is that once you beat them, basically just cycles over to another version of the same game. So there might be like another character up somewhere or something like that, and that's about it. There's really nothing too unique about it other than the fact that there might be, it might even go faster or something. But yeah, I did beat that, and that game I think goes for quite a bit nowadays, comparatively speaking. If I find it in the wild, I'm definitely curious about it. Oh shoot, where is... Where is everybody? Let's just bring people back to life. That's gonna be our job. Oh shit, what did I just do? Oh damn it. I did not mean to do that, sorry. I was just running around hitting all these people and tagging them and bringing them back to life, and I wasn't even paying attention. Okay, that being said, oh Jesus. I knew that thing was coming too. Okay. Well, the good news is we're already at 30% for our photon blast. So there's a good chance that we're going to get brought up very shortly. Okay, let's use some fuse traps. Those seem to be quite useful. Okay, and we're back to normal. Perfect. Okay, let's get rid of these guys. Also in the Geek Swap, I ran into some familiar faces, including one guy. I don't really know his name, but I talk to him quite often. He's a video game collector as well, and he knows his stuff. He also does quite a bit of hunting out in the wild, and he's a guy that I respect his hunting prowess, but I do resent the fact that he kind of impedes my ability to pick up some of these games, because I know the areas that he goes to, and I know some of the stores that he goes to, and there's stores that I frequent as well, and it just means that there's just more competition in those areas to get some of these things. Most of the time people are pretty good. Like, if I see games that are doubles that I don't need, I generally, unless it's something that's ridiculous to let slide, like something you know somebody else is going to flip, but I don't typically see those as often as I used to, I'll generally pick it up. Or if it's like a PC game that I already own, oh shit, and I see that somebody else might enjoy, like they've already got a handful of PC games and stuff like that, I'll generally just like bring it over and be like, oh cool, I don't really need this, but it's a lot of fun, you should get it. I've done that quite a few times, you know, just being generous that way, not feeling the need to be greedy. But yeah, so this guy here, he ended up cutting me a break on a couple of things. He had a lot of really cool games, but unfortunately there wasn't really anything in my trade pile that he was interested in order to get some of it. Like there was the I think they're pronounced Dementium games for the Nintendo DS, and they're like survival horror games, and they're done on the early DS, so the graphics are actually surprisingly pretty good. It's just the actual gameplay, because you don't have a C-stick, you have to use the stylus, and that can be a bit cumbersome to some extent. I feel like they need to really release Metroid Prime Hunters, just because they need to put the C-stick function in instead of having to use the stylus pad. So this guy was able to cut me a bit of a deal on a couple of things, things that weren't really too impressive, but like stuff that I figured I'd enjoy, like a couple of DVDs and things like that. So always good to have friends out there that are also hunting, that's for sure. Okay, we're gonna slowly try and make our way, oh sweet, quickly make our way over here. Looks like our friend Yukina could probably use our help. Alright, so the last couple of things that I got here in my little pile, we might not even make it to the end of the game before I show you off everything that I picked up recently, or at least the majority of cool things. Are some figures that I bought kind of impulsively, but they're only $2 each, and they go for a little bit of money, so figured why not, you might as well grab them. Okay, let's see if we can help out at all by using the confuse trap. And let's grab a corner, and oh no, let's run around until we lose this dude. Let's tag this guy in the meantime, and oh no. Oh. Okay, it's probably just gonna shrink me, but still, it is quite inconvenient. Oh no, and I'm dead. Well, at least now I'm restored and I don't have any of the penalties associated with my character anymore. I apologize also, guys, if it sounds like I'm getting a bit congested. Sometimes beer has that effect on me, and I've only had about half of this steam whistle, but it doesn't seem to really be agreeing with my geeky little sinus issues, allergies, or whatever. I noticed that as soon as I got into my 30s, I started to get allergic to beer. Not all the time, but sometimes. And it's funny, I was talking to my family doctor about it. She says, well, you know what, there's a pill that I can give you that can help you out with that if that's going to be a real issue. And I was like, to be honest, I don't think being allergic to beer is really the end of the world. Might actually be a good thing, quite frankly. I think a person my age could probably do okay with being a little bit with having some barricades in the way of getting access to alcohol. I don't have a drinking problem or anything like that, but not drinking is probably better for you after a certain age than drinking, for sure. So again, I was just out there hunting, and saw these figures, and they're only $2 a piece. And they're pretty cool. They're Warcraft figures, so World of Warcraft, right here. And I'm hoping to at least get a trade with somebody for them. I probably won't hold on to them for very long, but they're pretty heavy-duty figures. They look really good. They're really detailed, really high quality, really heavy. I did put one down, which is kind of unfortunate, and it was only because it was broken a little bit. And that was Big Daddy from BioShock, which I was looking up online, and it actually goes for a little bit. But this thing was damaged, like the screen was busted off, and so was the back tank on it and stuff like that. It still did look pretty cool for what it was, but it was just incomplete, and I thought, well, I don't really want anything that's incomplete. I'm not the hugest BioShock fan, but the Big Daddy character is definitely a memorable game character. Okay, get out of the way, get out of the way. Oh, no. Oh, god damn it. And again, it was only for, I believe, $2.99, so not exactly going to break the bank, you know what I mean? But alas, I put it down and I kept the Warcraft figures instead, and the hope is that maybe I'll be able to get a deal with somebody and maybe trade it for something that I might be able to get more use out of rather than just shelf candy. A couple of things that I got that I wasn't even able to show you guys because they just got rid of them so quickly, whereas like a pile of Hellboy figures as well. And again, just got rid of those the same day for a couple of bucks. And I don't know, just always kind of nice to have a little bit extra PayPal money on hand and kind of buy things you find are a little bit neat on eBay, or if I'm really responsible, withdraw that money to my banking account and I don't know, put it towards a mortgage or something. But who wants to do that, right? Oh damn, we're dead again. Fuck. No. Okay, hopefully somebody can bring me back. This is painful. Oh my god. Okay, does anybody got a moon atomizer? Great. Great, great, great. Mono grinder, why not? You never know when you're gonna need one. Out of moons. Okay, let's see if we can bring the freeze trap up. Sweet. Not gonna buy us enough time. Damn, dead already. Oh, this is not good. Well, let's see if that helps out a little bit. Just keep them confused, and maybe I can tag them a little bit from the side. Okay, it looks like they're temporarily paralyzed. Come on. Wow, I can't believe it. Like my co-op players here are hitting for like 1,000, and it's taking multiple hits to bring these guys down. Like their strength must be quite high. But I also know that this is a custom game, so maybe they beefed up the characters just a little bit. Okay, I should probably play this smart and hold back a little bit, just in the event that I do pass on. Don't want people to lose all of their shit. Okay, well, at least we got that freeze trap out before we... Oh, we didn't die. Excellent. Okay, let's tag this guy. Bang, 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 bang. So yeah, I guess the last thing that I want to show you guys is a pretty cool little... it wasn't even a Craigslist pickup. It was like a local buy and sell group pickup. And there's a guy, he posted a PS2 with multiple games and a couple controllers and things like that, and he wanted $50. I thought, okay, well, that's a reasonable price. And I was looking at the games, and I was like, oh my god, like, just for the cost of one of these games selling one of these games would cover the entire cost of the system. So he had about 40 games. It was a PS2, the PS2 Fat, in really good condition. I still haven't done my mod to my PS2 Fat yet, but I really want to. And boxes, okay. Break single. I'm following you. Should I break a single as well? Oh, no. God damn it. Okay, so break singles. Then what? Wow, look at that lag, because I typed that in ages ago. Uh-oh, there's a good chance that the game froze. Uh-oh. Did I fuck it up? Oh shit, we DC'd, didn't we? Oh no. Come on, come back, come back. This isn't good. Uh-oh guys, we might have lost the game. Let's give it a couple seconds, see if something happens. Oh shit. I should have realized as soon as it started choking that we needed to exit the game. I think we disconnected, guys. Oh. The line was disconnected. Game over. Press start button. Oh no. All of that work. All of that work for nothing. Okay, well, that was a first, especially with the BBA. Oh wait, we have all our money still? There's a good chance we didn't lose any of our items. Well, that's something. I mean, it sucks that we can't continue the quest, but this quest has always been really finicky with disconnecting, so it doesn't shock me that that happened, but nonetheless, I am not happy at all. So let's reconnect, go back to Altamira, see if anybody else DC'd as well. Fuck, that's terrible. We were so close. My guild card is already online. Interesting. Okay, so there is some sort of... Looks like there's some sort of... issue maybe going on with the server, because it says that I'm still online when I'm clearly disconnected. Let's see what happens. Now, it did take a lot of time for the information that I typed into the keyboard to come onto the screen. Huh. The line was disconnected. Game over. Press start button. Your guild card is already online. Okay, let's start a single player game It appears as though our character data is saving to the VMU, which is a good sign. It really sucks that we can't complete the quest. But let's just see if we lost anything. It appears as though we kept all of our Meseta. But did we lose any items? I hope not. I hope we kept our weapon. Oh god, that'll be disappointing if we lost our weapon. But I really would like to go... Okay, so let's see. Item pack. Equipment. Okay, we got our Yasminkov. That's good. Okay, we got all of our weapons. Cool. Okay, we got all of that too. Bunch of garbage, but that's okay. So let's just use all of this stuff while we're here. And maybe we'll sell some things that we're not using. And that'll give us just enough time to let the server sort of figure itself out. But I suspect that the game crashed. The game is still active. Maybe nobody else crashed. That'd be really disappointing if I'm the only one that left the game, because my connection is pretty tight. Let's get rid of some of this garbage here. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. We don't need that. And we'll keep that. Keep that. And we'll keep everything else. Okay, good stuff. We got enough grinders. Okay, let's go to the bank as well and drop off some goodies. And then we'll exit, saving the information to the VMU. Deposit item. Yes, 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 and yes. So that way we don't lose it, which is, well, it is good that at least we didn't lose. How much XP? Oh man, we're pretty much halfway to another level as well. Okay, I can't exit to the lobby, of course, because we're in single player mode. So let's just quit and save. Okay, good to know, Randy. So I wonder if everybody else got booted from the game. So I am going to try and get back online. And if I can't, it would appear as though we may be done for the night. Whoops, online. Yes. 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 Alright guys, let's see what happens. Moment of truth. We'll give it one more shot. It is good that we have somebody. So Vertigo is currently in the chat. It just updated me that they were also disconnected. And there you have it. Alright guys, well, I don't really know what to do about this. There doesn't appear to be a way for me to get back online. Like, I can't even connect to the actual server. So I'm really disappointed. We made it so close to the end. We only had that last door to open. I'm not 100% sure what Kurohan was supposed to be showing us when they said just break one box, but wow, that's a real disappointment. Like, not a way I would have liked to end the stream, but there's really not much I can do. I can't connect to the server, so I can't even get back on to find out from the other players what happened. It says that we're already online, so it appears as though for tonight this might be the end of the game. But yeah, let's just hit start, disconnect properly. So maybe I'll just show you what I was telling you about in PSO. I'll try and keep a positive attitude towards it. Alright, so let's go back to the full camera here. So I got this stack of games, and actually this isn't all of them. These are just the ones that I kept. I ended up getting quite a few games in this trade. Like I said, there was about 30 or so games, but I kept the good ones and I sold the rest pretty quickly. I paid $50 for the lot. The games I didn't want, I sold for $30. The ones that I did keep were the following. So right away, you probably saw this one. So this is Mobile Suit Gundam, and that's Gundam versus Zeta Gundam. Probably about an $80 to $90 game. Complete, excellent condition. This actually isn't one that I got there. These are other games that I got another time. Sorry, I kind of mixed those into the pile. Guilty Gear X, another fantastic game. The PS2. Been ported to many other consoles. I did keep Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That was the one that I tried to sell, and they were going to give me $2 at the local game store. Full Metal Alchemist 2. Again, these games are all complete and in excellent condition. Castlevania, Lament of Innocence. Complete and in excellent shape. Those two games I'll tell you last. I don't know how to pronounce this, and I don't know anything about it, but again, pretty expensive game for the most part. But I believe it's pronounced Bujinge, and it looks like some sort of RPG, but fantastic little rare find. And then these two, I guess, go together. Now, it makes me wish I've had this game twice, and both times I've sold it. Only because I thought I'll never get the other games to the collection because they're so expensive. So I've had Hack Quarantine twice, thinking that I'll never find the other games. But also included these two games here. So Hack Outbreak and Hack Mutation. I'll be honest, I'll probably never get around to playing them, but still really cool to have those in my collection. So anyways, guys, I think that's it for tonight. We can't seem to connect to the server. It appears as though at least one other person, and I just got the update that Kuro crashed too. So maybe there was just a server issue. It's hard to say, but we lost that game. I managed to keep all my stuff, so hopefully other people kept their stuff too. It's kind of nice because we did go quite far. We did get a level up. We got quite a bit of items, quite a bit of different sort of attributes that we've added to our character that would have been shame to lose. But still disappointing we didn't get to finish the quest. So maybe another time. I don't think it had to do with the amount of players. We did notice quite a bit of lag, but that quest has always been rather unstable. So still pretty disappointing. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm very sorry it ended the way it did, but hey, this is all part of the Dreamcast experience, right? Guess another reason to go to Blueburst. I'll never go to Blueburst. But it's still a lot of fun. Got to play with some people that I hadn't played with before. And yeah, again, always fun to play with the people that I'm familiar with as well. Thanks for all your support, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching the stream. Hope everybody enjoyed. In the meantime, take care, and I will talk to you another time. See ya later.